This is National Executive Director Stacey Itzel, and I'm going to talk to you about the step of recruiting called INQUIRE or the conversation. And this is often when we can make or break that new consultant's decision to join our team. So I want you to think about all of the things that you're doing in your parties and on your Facebook walls and on social media to generate interest in the business opportunity. That's the informing stage. You're throwing out those seeds. And then the next step is to invite, reaching out and asking them if they want to learn more. So then you get to the inquire part. And if you think about the word inquire or inquisition, it's really just a prolonged period of asking questions. The goal is to have a conversation with the person that you've asked if they want to learn more about the business. And here is the key to the inquisition or the conversation. It's so important to never have the last word yourself until you get that firm no. Let me say that again. Never have the last word yourself until you have a firm no. And so, how do you ensure that you don't have the last word? By continuing to ask questions. Continuing to inquire, ask questions is how you're going to keep that conversation going. Now, as you message back and forth with someone about the business, be very clear and concise in the information you are sending them. In other words, don't throw it all out there at once. And always, always, always end with the question so that the conversation continues. Don't depend on them to ask you the questions. If you do, the conversation will likely stall, especially if the last thing that you type or say is a statement. So, because people rarely say yes the first time that they're asked about the business opportunity, your conversation really does become a circle of sharing information, overcoming the objection, and asking another question. When you're faced with an objection, there's a couple of different ways that you can work through that. And one of those ways is to overcome it using a sandwich method. So the sandwich method is really just validating the objection, offering a solution, and then asking another question. Let's take a look at that. We're going to use the sandwich, validate the objection, overcome the objection with a solution, and ask a question. So, for example, if someone says that they're too busy, you can say, I totally get that. Feeling too busy is probably the most common objection I hear. You're validating it. You're making them feel like they're not abnormal, that everybody feels that way. It's a common thing to feel like they don't have enough time. Then you offer the solution by overcoming the objection. Most people think it takes a lot more time than it actually does. Because it's so flexible, you can work as much or as little as you want, and it's easy to fit into any schedule. And then the bottom layer of your sandwich is to ask the question to keep the conversation going. If I could show you how you could do this business with your already busy schedule, would you be interested in learning more? So let's take a look, take a peek at how this has played out in real life for me. So here's where I've asked a guest about the business. Her response was, let me think about that for a bit and I'll let you know. I'm going to validate the objection and ask another question. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. We have a cool offer this month when you join in April. And you can earn the quick hooker for free. All right, that was just a promotion we had at the time. Then I'm asking the question, is it something you've considered in the past? Her objection, not really. The main reason is I don't really know how to cook and don't cook often. Validation. OMG, girl, did you see my post about being the hamburger helper queen? So I'm putting myself in the same shoes as her, which is absolutely true. I do very little of the cooking in my house, although I have learned a lot about cooking in the last 15 years. So I'm overcoming it by telling her it's an opportunity to learn about cooking and then asking another question. Is this the only thing holding you back? She offers another objection, that and the time. I'm the assistant manager at McDonald's and I work a lot and take care of my granddaughter. I'm going to validate, offer a solution, ask another question. I understand most people worry about having enough time for this more than anything else. I find they think it often takes way more time than it actually does. Here's a secret. We use a posting service to run our parties. So I lost my place. So we are not tied to our phone or computer all day. I literally just check in on my parties once a day for about 15 minutes. Here's my question. If you were to try something like this, would it be for the extra money, free products, or something else? That's just some examples of overcoming those objections. Now, here's some quick examples of some questions you can ask to keep the conversation going. What interests you most about joining? Have you ever done anything like this before? How much money would you like to earn? Would you want to do it all online or incorporate some in-person parties as well? Which of the kits do you like the most? What other questions do you have? Is there anything holding you back from giving it a try? Are you ready to get started? So after you have had that circle of overcoming the objections, don't be afraid to ask for what you want. This is the sunshine that you're going to put on those seeds that you've planted and watered and taken care of. You want that seed to sprout. You want them to sign up. So just ask if they're ready. If they aren't ready, ask them what's holding them back. You can't overcome the objection and offer a solution unless you know what it is. When you get the yes, get excited. Get them signed up. Send them the link to your personal website. And when you get a no, because you might still get a no even after that whole conversation, use that as an opportunity to turn it into a booking for your personal show schedule. Because when you book them on your calendar, you still have a hot lead. Your host is your #1 recruit lead. And after they go through that hosting process, they are more likely to sign up.